Well, good afternoon. We are here for Wednesday night recap.
We are.
And last night was actually our last session in Goliath Must Fall. And we've been through different giants in our life, whether it be fear or rejection. And
whoa, hey, get out of the way!
Whoa.
Get out of the way!
Whoa.
What?
Last night, what did we talk about? What was it?
Anger.
Anger. And what better place to get angry
On the road.
but on the road. I see this truck behind us.
See
You
this
can
guy?
see him. I'm sure he's pretty angry.
He's pretty angry right now. Oh well.
We talked about anger.
He should have come to the Bible study.
He should have. He would have known how to handle.
He
his,
would have known how
his
to handle
anger right
that.
now. But we talked about, in 1 Samuel, the story again of David and Goliath. That David was growing angry at the giant. He was angry because he was defying the armies of God.
That's right.
And so that was kind of like a righteous kind of anger. Something we probably all. When we defend our family or whatever,
Yeah.
and there's not necessarily something wrong with that, but it's all in how we deal with our anger. Because then it talked about his brother Eliab, who it said he burned with anger towards David for even coming there, and he questioned his motives of why are you even here, and don't you have something else you could be doing, tending to those few sheep or whatever.
It's like he wasn't just angry, like you said, he burned with anger. It was like
which is not...
it was built up. It was like, he had been probably ticked at David for something, probably being anointed as king, as the author said last night.
Yeah.
And he was just burning up with anger.
Right.
Which I think we've all been there at some level.
Absolutely. And so we talked about some different kinds of anger, and also our responses to those anger. How do you respond to anger?
Well, I mean, there's certainly been times that I would let my anger be visible, but I think a lot of times for me is the majority of it, I'll kind of internalize it and think about it and just kind of roll the situation, the conversation over in my head for a long time. And there's a lot going on up in here.
Yeah.
And like, I guess I'll ask myself, did I cause this? Did I, what was my part? Like, I'm really quick to do that, which can be good and bad.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of times, and I think initially how I handle anger. I'm not very good at just coming up with like, a slicing comment.
Right.
Right.
And remember, some of the ways he said was, are you the type maybe that you get quiet, you take it all in and you get quiet, or do you confront it right then? That's not me.
Yeah.
Nobody likes confrontation, I don't think. Some people do.
Some people do.
Or do you get quiet and you privately plan your retaliation for getting back at them?
Those are probably the scariest people. Yeah, those are
Absolutely.
the
And when we
Hey, Pastor, can you come in a little more into it?
Sure. You miss me?
I feel like I'm so far away from you.
But when we talk about wrongly placed anger, that could be something that somebody did not intend on offending you, and they don't even know they offended you, and they sleep fine at night. They're not concerned about it, but you, even though it wasn't meant for evil, you've just held on to this. We do that. Rightly placed anger, again, is somebody did hurt you, and you're angry about it, and that's real. We all experience that. And then the worst part is the suppressing anger, because it's going to come out at some point, and probably not at a good point, and it's been building and festering, and when that, what do they call it, the straw that broke the camel's back, and we all probably maybe know what that's like, where we just blow a gasket and they don't even know what hit them. You're just coming out with both barrels. But you said that you think about it. I very much don't like it, but I suppress it sometimes, and I think I can deal with it. But truly, until we can find ourselves giving it to God, I've tried it my way. I've tried to say, well, I'm going to handle this, and I'm going to suppress it, and I'm going to work through it, and I can tell you, it's not ended well most of the time.
And last night, the author tying into that said, he hates this overused phrase, but it's so true. Let go and let God, let God deal with it.
Right.
When you're in a situation like that where it's, you're overwhelmed by this anger, it really is it's hard to talk and drive, but it really is something that, God needs to handle.
Right.
Our anger.
Right. One of the verses we read from was James 1. This is 19 and 20. It says, "My dear brothers and sisters, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry, because human anger does not produce the righteousness that God desires."
Yeah.
And really, ultimately, until we can, and kind of the author talked about last night, was we go to the foot of the cross, and we bring this anger, we bring our rejection, we bring our fear, and we lay it at Christ's feet. We become almost painfully aware of all that Christ has done for us.
Yeah.
And we know that we have offended God.
Yeah.
We've walked away from God, and we've probably, drawn the ire of God, the anger of God, by the things we do. But yet we become aware that who am I?
Yeah.
Who am I to hold anger?
Who are you to hold anger against me?
That guy who cut you off. Who are you to hold that against him?
That's true.
But a part of it too is forgiveness. You've asked for forgiveness, and maybe that person, one, didn't accept it, or two, you just never got the opportunity to ask their forgiveness.
Yeah.
But for yourself, you need to forgive, so you can move on. He said last night, once you can do that and become aware of your own faults and what God has done for us, that giant begins to teeter and then finally just crashes to the ground.
And it's amazing the connection between forgiveness and anger. So much of anger is tied in with our willingness or to forgive or not forgive people.
That's right.
It's a powerful giant. I think in our culture in general, people are very angry. Even when they're driving, they're super angry.
That could be our fault. We could cause somebody to get angry at the way we drive. I don't know.
Yeah. Hey, can I tell you a really quick story?
Yeah.
So one time I was in slow traffic, 2 lanes going to 1 lane. I went into the next lane and I cut a guy off. I knew it immediately. I cut him off. And in my rearview mirror, he's giving me the finger. He's so angry. The traffic is slow and it goes back to 2 lanes. It's summertime, so our windows are down. He pulls up next to me, and before he can get a word out of his mouth, I said, "Sir, I am so sorry. I can't believe I cut you off. Completely my fault. Please forgive me." And I almost caught him mid-sentence.
He was about to
he was about to rip into me. And he's like, "Hey, it's okay, man. Don't worry. We all make mistakes. Don't worry about it."
He diffused it.
Yeah, and he's like, "Have a great one. Have a great day." And I was like, "You too, man. Later." And it was like, it went from that one moment of just, sometimes I haven't always been that humble when I've made a mistake, but that showed me that really humility in your life can really overcome situations where anger could win.
Yeah, right.
Right.
So if you've held on to anger, you need to let it go. It just festers. It eats us up inside, and ultimately, with all of these giants, it robs God's glory of working through us and impacting others. If all we're doing is carrying around these things. So I hope you've enjoyed this series. We certainly have, and we have a new one starting next week. Pastor Hans is going to start with that, and if you'll stay just for a few seconds after the video here, we'll play a small trailer for that. I don't know if you want to talk about it, or we'll just let this.
No, hey, let the video do its talking. Starts this coming Wednesday, the 6th, I believe.
Yes,
October.
yeah, that's right.
Sweet.
So I hope we make it back to church.
I hope we make it back in one piece
and not make anybody angry.
That's right. God bless you guys.
Take care.
When you went to purchase your current cell phone, did you walk into the store with a perfectly good cell phone in your pocket? Of course you did. Some of our financial decisions in hindsight, well, they really don't make much sense. See what I did there? Anyway, sorry. Everybody has a relationship with money, and maybe like a lot of people, well, yours is complicated. Our time together may be a turning point for you in lots of ways, including financially. It's a completely different paradigm, and it changes not just our finances. Honestly, it changes everything. We're not just going to talk about money. What if we invited our money to pull up a chair and give us some advice? What would our money say if our money talked?